Here are 3 helmets you can consider for a retro helmet. So today I want to talk about the Bullitt, the Gringo SV, and the Arai Regent X, and why each have their pros and cons for making a great retro helmet. So let's start off with the Bullitt. So as some of you may know, I already own a Bullitt. So here are my thoughts for a Bullitt as a retro helmet. Pros: it has a wide field of vision, which makes it easier for doing head checks. Not to mention people can see who the cool person is riding the motorcycle. It has air intake options and exhaust options. It has a really cool retro design with some really nice touches to the interior. And it comes with a ton of different color options and visor options and these thingy options, so you can really customize the look. Now the cons. It's a loud helmet if you're going at highway speeds, and that's because of the neck curtain. It's not very narrow, which means it gets a lot of wind noise coming up from the bottom. Although it has airflow options, honestly, they really don't do that much. You have your top airflow, which always remains open, and then you have your mouth airflow, which yes, you can open and close, but honestly, it doesn't do much. Also, Bullits only come in a round oval head shape, which means if you're any other head shapes, it may not fit too perfectly. Also the price. This may be a pro for some, but a con for others. For a standard Bullitt, they come in at around $440, and for a carbon fiber Bullitt, they go for around $640. So that might be a little pricey for some people, because you can get a comparable retro helmet for a bit less. Which brings me to our next helmet, the Biltwell Gringo SV. What are the pros of the Gringo SV? It also has a cool retro look, but unlike the Bullitt, it actually has a larger chin guard, which means more protection. Unlike the previous model, the Gringo S, the Gringo SV actually has airflow intake and exhaust, which you can actually control. I mean, check it out, that top airflow has 3 positions, and that's for each side. So then you can control the amount of airflow coming into your helmet. And check out that airflow intake on the chin. Those are some pretty large vents. So unlike the Bullitt, you're actually getting better airflow that you can actually control. And like the Bullitt, it has a fairly similar rear exhaust airflow. Another thing I like about the Gringo SV is the articulated visor. See, in the previous model of the Gringo S, that visor just went up or down, which meant kind of similar to this Bullitt, if you're riding along and it's just, you kind of crack it open, it can actually just snap down just like that. And if you're doing a lot of city riding, you'll find that having that articulated visor gives you better airflow options without the fear of the visor coming down if you hit a bump. And of course, another great pro for the helmet is the price. They come in at the great price of $299.95, which makes it a fairly affordable retro style helmet with fantastic features. Now here are some cons. The biggest con for me was the sizing and fitment. Now I normally wear a medium in the Bullitt and a medium in Arai's. But when I went to try on a Biltwell Gringo SV in medium, man, that sucker was tight. I mean, I was able to get it on my head, but I was feeling every inch of it. I mean, once I had the helmet on, it felt great. So if I were to get one, I'm gonna size up and get a size large. Another con was the weight. Now granted, I was comparing it to my Bullitt Carbon, but man, I could definitely feel the difference in weight. Also another con, it's a bit noisy at high speeds. I mean, it's not as bad as Bullitt, but there are quieter helmets out there. It does have limited designs in terms of the colors. Now I get it, it's a new helmet, so they're sticking with solid colors for now, but I think it would be cool to see different designs like you find on the Gringo S or even the Bullits. But who knows, maybe that'll come later. And as my final choice, let's look at the Arai Regent X. Now I know this isn't a Regent X, it's my Defiant, but this helmet is very similar to the Regent X. So work with me, people. So what are the pros with the Arai Regent X? Now because Arai has gone with a round egg-shaped shell, it kind of has that retro look. Now I know that's debatable, but works for me. And as you've seen in my other videos, they're extremely comfortable. I mean, honestly, you can't beat Arai's liners. Like I said before, they're like pillows. Of course, another great pro with Arai is all that adjustable airflow. You got top head airflow, brow airflow, mouth airflow, and rear airflow. And of course, almost all of that airflow is adjustable. And another pro, despite all that great airflow, is that it's a fairly quiet helmet because it has a more narrow neck curtain. Another plus/pro is that this helmet is not only DOT approved, it's Snell approved, which means you can take it to the track. And let's not forget all the safety features that come with Arai helmets. Remember, all these air vents are designed to break off in the event of a fall, so that it becomes a smooth surface. So what are some cons with Arai helmets? Of all three, it's kind of retro looking. I mean, let's be honest here, it's very modern looking. I mean, yes, it does have that round head shape, but out of the three, it doesn't look as retro as the Gringo SV or the Bell Bullitt. And as a final con for Arai Regent X, I'd have to say it's the price. A standard Regent X starts at $579.95. So that's a little up there, especially in comparison to the Gringo SV or the Bell Bullitt. So in conclusion, what are some final thoughts for me? So I think it boils down to three things: the look, functionality, and the price. So in my opinion, if you're going for the look, I say get the Bell Bullitt. Now, if you're going for functionality, I say get an Arai Regent X. But if you're going for the price, which will have the best of both worlds of the look and the function, I think the Gringo SV is right up your alley. So I bet you're wondering, what do I lean more towards? Well, for me, I chose the Arai. Now I know we're talking about the Regent X's, but I don't got one right now. But I went with an Arai helmet because A, it kind of has that retro look, comfort, airflow, and safety features. So when it's all said and done, there are many approaches you can go when looking for the right retro helmet for you. Now keep in mind that some helmets are more appropriate for urban riding, where you're not building up high speeds like you would on a highway. And then some helmets are actually better not only in an urban environment, but on the highway. So some good urban retro choices, I would say the Bell Bullitt or the Gringo SV. And if you plan to go out on the highway more, where you're building faster speeds, I say get the Arai Regent X. But when it's all said and done, the choice is up to you. So what about you? What, in your opinion, is the perfect retro helmet? Let me know in the comments below. If you want to know more about helmets, check out one of my videos over here. If you want to know more about other retro gear, check out this video over here. And if you want any more information on the helmets I talked about today, I'll leave some links below, where you can also even purchase those helmets. Thanks again, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.